A very good evening and welcome to Sabha TV. My name is Nath and you're watching News Tonight, where we bring you updates from India and around the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with finalists of the Smart India Hackathon 2020 and discussed their innovative ideas. Addressing the students, the Prime Minister said, the new education policy aims to transform the education system in tune with the interest of students. He said it took 5 years to draft the NEP after it was discussed with people from all sectors.
Addressing the Smart India Hackathon 2020, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the new education policy emphasizes job creators. Terming the NEP people-centric and future-centric, Prime Minister Modi said the new policy provides flexibility to choose subjects to students. He said the new policy reflects aspirations of over 130 crore Indians.
ये पॉलिसी 21वीं सदी के नौजवानों की सोच, उनकी जरूरतें, उनकी आशाओं, अपेक्षाओं और आकांक्षाओं को देखते हुए बनाने का व्यापक प्रयास हुआ है. This concept has been gaining popularity, and rightly so. One size does not fit all. One subject does not define who you are. There are no limits to discovering something new.
The Prime Minister said the new education policy is based on inclusion right from primary education. In higher education, it aims to increase gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035. Prime Minister Modi praised the introduction of regional and local languages at primary levels, which he said will help students learn about the culture and languages of India.
National education policy is big on access to education. Starting from primary education, in higher education, the aim is to increase gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035. कि विद्यार्थियों को अपनी शुरुआती वर्षों में अपनी ही भाषा में सीखने का अवसर मिलेगा. इससे उनका टैलेंट और पुष्पवित पल्लवित होने के लिए मैं समझता हूं बहुत अवसर होगा. वो सहज होकर बिना दबाव के नई नई चीजें सीखने के लिए प्रेरित होगा. वो शिक्षा से जुड़ पाएगा.
Prime Minister Modi said the new education policy focuses on learning, research and innovation. It integrates local with global, aiming to turn India into a global hub.
जहां स्थानीय लोक कलाओं और विद्याओं, शास्त्रीय कला और ज्ञान को स्वाभाविक स्थान देने की बात है, तो वहीं टॉप ग्लोबल इंस्टीट्यूशंस को भारत में कैंपस खोलने का भी आमंत्रण है. इससे हमारे युवाओं का भारत में ही वर्ल्ड क्लास एक्सपोजर और अपॉर्चुनिटी भी मिलेगी और ग्लोबल कंपटीशन के लिए ज्यादा तैयारी भी हो सकेगी.
Prime Minister Modi also urged youth to keep working on innovative solutions to make India Atmanirbhar. The hackathon was organized by the HRD Ministries, All India Council for Technical Education, Persistent Systems and I4C. The nationwide initiative provides students with a platform to solve pressing problems of people. Around 10,000 college students reached the grand finale of the hackathon. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
COVID-19 infections neared 17 lakh as India added over 57,000 cases for the first time in a single day. This was the third consecutive day that COVID-19 cases have increased by more than 50,000, and the second day when India recorded more than 55,000 cases.
With India reporting 57,117 cases and 764 deaths in the last 24 hours, the total number of coronavirus infections has neared 17 lakh. The total number includes 36,511 deaths, 5,65,103 active cases and 10,94,374 recoveries. The recovery rate has improved to 64.52%. At 2.15%, India's case fatality rate is the lowest since the first lockdown. However, at 10.86%, India's positivity rate is higher than the WHO-approved 5%. Over 1.93 crore samples have been tested so far, including 5.25 lakh samples tested on Friday. More than 60% of the total cases in the country and over 50% of total deaths have been recorded in July. On an average, more than 35,000 people were added every day in July to the confirmed number of infections. In terms of numbers, India added over 10 lakh cases in July from 5,85,493 on July 1st to 16,38,870 on July 31st. The death toll went up to 35,747 from 17,400 in the same period. The increase in numbers is attributed to ease in lockdown restrictions and resumption of activities. Increase in testing is another reason for the rise in numbers. Increased testing helps in containing the further spread of the disease in the coming months. As more and more infected people are detected, they can be isolated and quarantined, thereby reducing their chances of transmitting the disease. On Friday, Maharashtra reported a total of 10,320 new cases and 265 deaths, taking the total number of cases in the state to 4,22,118. Tamil Nadu recorded at least 5,881 COVID-19 cases, taking the state's overall tally to 2,45,859. With 97 deaths reported in the past 24 hours, the death toll in the state surged to 3,935. Andhra Pradesh surpassed Delhi to become the third worst coronavirus hit state in the country. The state added over 30,000 cases in the last 3 days, taking the total number of infections to 1,40,933, including 1,349 fatalities. With a record single-day spike of 2,496 cases, the COVID-19 tally in West Bengal has crossed 70,000. The state reported 45 COVID-19 fatalities. 1,581 people have died so far. In Assam, cases crossed 40,000 with 1,862 fresh infections. 98 people have died due to the virus in the state so far. Telangana reported 2,083 new COVID-19 cases, the highest single-day spike so far, breaching the 2,000 mark for the first time. This has taken the tally of positive cases in the state to 64,786. With 11 more deaths, the COVID-19 toll in the state has risen to 530. Uttar Pradesh reported a record 4,453 new cases, which took the infection count to 85,461, while 46 deaths in 24 hours took the statewide toll to 1,630. The state added nearly 62,000 to its caseload, or 73% in July. COVID-19 tests too surged to over 23.25 lakh, with this month witnessing a 207% jump in the number of tests done. As cases rise, states continue to take several measures to contain the spread. The second round of seroprevalence survey began in Delhi on Saturday. 15,000 samples will be collected from August 1st to August 5th as part of the exercise, spanning different areas and age groups. Representative samples will be taken from all 11 districts. Coronavirus-induced lockdown in the containment zones of Maharashtra's Thane district has been extended till August 31st. Mizoram extended statewide partial lockdown till August 31st to prevent further spread of the virus. All international and interstate borders will continue to remain closed, barring 3 entry points. Total lockdown in Nagaland's capital Kohima was extended till August 7th as the state reported its highest single-day spike in COVID-19 cases, with 126 more people testing positive for the infection. Close to 1,700 people are infected in the state. The Tamil Nadu government extended general lockdown till August 31st, with total lockdown on Sundays. The monsoon session of the Chhattisgarh Legislative Assembly will begin from August 25th and will be restricted to just 4 days in light of the pandemic. The third phase of lifting of coronavirus-related restrictions across the country came into effect from today. Night curfew is now scrapped and gyms and yoga institutes outside containment zones have been allowed to reopen. However, states can continue with area-specific restrictions. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The World Health Organization has said that though efforts to make a COVID-19 vaccine are progressing at record pace, people must learn to live with the virus.
The pandemic is a once-in-a-century health crisis, the effects of which will be felt for decades to come. Most of the world's people remain susceptible to this virus, even in areas that have experienced severe outbreaks. Many countries that believed they were past the worst are now grappling with new outbreaks.
Coronavirus cases have crossed 17.7 million worldwide. The United States alone has over 4.5 million cases. Till Friday, Brazil had lost 90,000 lives to COVID-19 infections, with the total case count crossing 2.62 million. Mexico had 8,458 new infections on Friday, taking its total cases to over 4.2 lakh. Deaths rose above 46,600, overtaking Britain. After a surge in new cases, Peru extended its emergency until August 31st. Quarantine measures are prolonged in most regions. The UK has deferred the next stage of easing its lockdown due to rise in new infections. Casinos, bowling alleys, skating rinks, indoor concert venues are closed till August 15th. France has mandated COVID-19 testing for arrivals from high-risk destinations. Germany also made coronavirus tests mandatory at airports for travelers from high-risk areas. It has put Catalonia, Aragon and Navarre on high-risk list after Spain experienced a resurgence of infections. With masks and disinfectants, Japan's Kabuki Theatre resumed performances on Saturday despite a surge in cases. Tokyo had 472 new cases, taking Japan's tally to over 36,000 cases and 1,000 deaths. Australia and China reported a drop in COVID-19 cases on Saturday. On Saturday, Hong Kong opened a treatment facility amid rising cases. The hospital-like facility has 500 beds. The city had over 100 COVID-19 cases for the 10th day. Vietnam's Da Nang tightened measures after 100 infections were reported last week. The city also set up a makeshift hospital.
Serum Institute of India has got the approval to start human trials of the COVID-19 vaccine in India.
The potential COVID-19 vaccine is being developed at the University of Oxford and has been licensed to AstraZeneca. 1,600 people will take part in the trials across 17 selected Indian sites, including AIIMS, Delhi. The vaccine is already in final stage trials in UK, Brazil and South Africa. Bharat Biotech is also conducting coronavirus vaccine trials on human beings across 8 sites. The first dose of Covaxin was administered to some volunteers at Gorakhpur's Rana Hospital on Thursday. Doctors said all vaccinated volunteers are doing well. Potential COVID-19 vaccines developed by US firm Moderna, Pfizer and German partner BioNTech, China's Sinovac and Russia's Gamaleya Institute are at phase 3 human trials.
As mobile networks prepare for 5G technology, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called for self-reliance and security in the telecom sector.
Congratulating the telecom industry on 25 years of mobility in India, the Prime Minister called digital mobility an enabler of multiple kinds of mobility. social, economic and informational. He said the telecom sector's achievements also fit in with the government's Digital India initiative and the Jan Dhan Aadhaar mobility program. He emphasized how digital connectivity has enabled the Arogya Setu app that has become an asset in India's fight against COVID-19.
The government has collected rupees 87,422 crore in GST for July, which is 86% of the collection in the same month last year. Here are the details.
Gross GST revenues collected in July 2020 is 87,422 crore rupees, of which Central Goods and Services Tax or CGST is 16,147 crore rupees, State Goods and Service Tax or SGST is 21,418 crore rupees, and Integrated Goods and Service Tax or IGST is 42,592 crore rupees. Cess is 7,265 crore rupees. The government has settled 23,320 crore rupees to CGST and 18,838 crore rupees to SGST from IGST as regular settlement. Total revenue earned by the central government and the state governments after regular settlement in July 2020 is 39,467 crore rupees for CGST and 40,256 crore rupees for SGST. Revenues for the month are 86% of the GST revenues in the same month last year. Revenues from import of goods were 84% and revenues from domestic transactions were 96% of the revenues in the same month last year. Revenues for June were higher than the current month. However, in June, many taxpayers paid taxes pertaining to February, March and April 2020 on account of the relief provided due to COVID-19. Taxpayers with turnover less than 5 crore rupees can file returns till September 2020. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The decks are cleared for the formation of 3 capital cities for Andhra Pradesh: the executive capital at Visakhapatnam, the legislative capital at Amravati, and the judicial capital at Kurnool.
Governor Biswabhushan Harichandran on Friday gave his assent to the AP Decentralization and Inclusive Development of All Regions Bill 2020 and the AP Capital Region Development Authority Repeal Bill 2020. The AP Decentralization and Inclusive Development of All Regions Bill is aimed at creating 3 capital cities for the state, while the AP Capital Region Development Authority Repeal Bill seeks to abolish the AP CRDA formed in December 2014 to develop Amravati as the state capital. The governor's nod to the bills has cleared the legislative hurdle to Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy's plan to have 3 capitals for the state of Andhra Pradesh. Legal hurdles, however, still remain. The matter is pending before the Andhra Pradesh High Court.
The IMD says the month of July ended with a 10% rainfall deficiency in the country. However, the good news is that monsoon is likely to be normal in the second half of the 4-month rainfall season.
The month of June had received 17% more rainfall than normal. However, July ended with a 10% rainfall deficiency, mostly due to low rain in parts of North and Central India. The IMD had predicted that July will get rainfall that is 103% of the long period average, which falls in the normal category, but that did not happen. However, relief is expected, with the Met Department saying monsoon is likely to be normal in the second half of the 4-month rainfall season. The IMD said August is likely to receive rainfall that is 97% of the LPA or long period average. Monsoon in the range of 96 to 104% of the LPA is considered normal. The official rainfall season in the country is from 1st of June to 30th of September.
July actually, because of certain local features, mainly we have no monsoon depression over Bay of Bengal or over Arabian Sea, or even no low pressure system over Bay of Bengal. So Odisha coast and West Bengal coast has no system, and this July, maybe the month, maybe last 50 years, we have no system, no major monsoon disturbance form over the Bay of Bengal and moved along central India.
Flood situation remained grim in Bihar with more than 45 lakh people affected. 3.76 lakh people have been evacuated so far, out of whom over 26,000 have taken shelter at relief camps. Around 1,100 community kitchens are catering to 7.71 lakh people in the inundated areas.
21 teams of NDRF and SDRF are deployed across 12 districts. The districts hit by the floods are West Champaran, East Champaran, Saran, Gopalganj, Siwan, Darbhanga, Muzaffarpur, Sitamarhi, Madhubani, Khagaria, Samastipur, Kishanganj, Supol and Shiohar. Routes of some special trains have been diverted, while services of some others stopped for the time being, with water flowing above the danger level near 3 railway bridges in Samastipur-Darbhanga section. About 300 villages in 12 districts of Uttar Pradesh have been hit by floods, affecting nearly 2 lakh people. No loss of life has been reported due to the floods so far. State administration has said the situation is under control. Ration kits and food packets are being distributed and boats have been deployed in the affected areas. Flood water in Assam receded in another district, while 10.83 lakh people still remain affected by the deluge. Death toll in the state stands at 135. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Rajya Sabha MP and former Samajwadi Party leader Amar Singh passed away at a Singapore hospital where he was undergoing treatment for the past few months. He was 64 years old. Tributes are pouring in for the veteran political leader.
Expressing his condolences, President Nath said Amar Singh was a man of many parts and an able parliamentarian. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu expressed sorrow at his untimely death. He said Amar Singh was popular across the political spectrum and always strove to uplift the downtrodden and marginalized sections of the society. The Vice President had been in constant touch with Amar Singh and the Indian High Commissioner of Singapore regarding his health. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Amar Singh was an energetic public figure and well known for his friendships across many spheres of life. Amar Singh had been a key leader in the Samajwadi Party and an influential figure in the political power circles with close links in Bollywood and business. He was expelled from the Samajwadi Party in 2010. He rejoined the party in 2016 but later fell out. He was elected to the Rajya Sabha for the first time in 1996. Currently, he was an independent MP in the Rajya Sabha.
The Guinness World Records on 31st July honoured Indian math genius Shakuntala Devi with a long overdue record title for fastest human computation 4 decades after she achieved the feat.
Vice President Venkaiah Naidu said that he was delighted to know that human computer Shakuntala Devi's fastest human computation has been given a place in the Guinness World Records. The Vice President added that Shakuntala Devi was able to multiply 2 randomly selected 13-digit numbers in 28 seconds, which proves the exceptional power of her mind. He called her the pride of India and said she achieved this stupendous feat 40 years ago.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Saturday paid tribute to freedom fighter Lokmanya Tilak on his 100th death anniversary.
The Vice President said Lokmanya Tilak was one of the prime architects of India's freedom movement with his slogan, "Swaraj is my birthright." Naidu said Tilak's contributions to the nation will always be remembered. Remembering Lokmanya Tilak on his 100th death anniversary, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Lokmanya Tilak's intellect, courage, sense of justice and idea of Swaraj continue to inspire everyone.
Home Minister Amit Shah on Saturday said freedom fighter Bal Gangadhar Tilak is a pioneer in turning the freedom struggle into an Indian movement.
Amit Shah was speaking at a webinar titled Lokmanya Tilak, Swaraj to Atmanirbhar Bharat on Tilak's death centenary. He highlighted several initiatives of Tilak to promote Swadeshi and the Swaraj movement in the country. He also urged the youth to read Tilak's writings in order to understand his ideas on self-reliance and culture. At the event, the Home Minister also praised the new education policy as path-breaking and said the inclusion of Sanskrit and other regional languages will further strengthen the connect of Indian students with national culture and teachings. He said the idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat initiated by Prime Minister Modi resonates with the teachings of Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak of working towards Swadeshi or local produce.
समय भी युवाओं ने निकालना होगा, अध्ययन भी करना होगा और उनके व्यक्तित्व के हर पहलू की गहराई में जाकर इसमें से तिलक महाराज के जीवन को समझने का प्रयास करना होगा। तिलक जी का ये विचार और ये दृष्टिकोण था कि स्वराज का आधार ही हमारी संस्कृति होनी चाहिए, स्वराज का आधार ही हमारी पुरातन उपलब्धियां होनी चाहिए। आत्मनिर्भर भारत का नरेंद्र भाई का जो स्वप्न है उसको तिलक महाराज के विचारों के साथ जोड़कर देश की जनता को प्रेरणा देने का एक जो प्रयास किया है वो स्तुत्य है, प्रशंसनीय है।
Muslims worldwide celebrated Eid AlAdha on Saturday. President Nath, Kovind, PM Modi and Vice President Venkaiah Naidu were among several leaders who extended their greetings on the occasion. They urged people to follow guidelines to contain the spread of COVID-19 pandemic while celebrating the festival.
Calling Eid al-Zuha the occasion that celebrates the spirit of sacrifice and friendship, President Ramnath Kovind said it inspires us to work for the well-being of one and all. He also reminded everyone to follow social distancing norms to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu greeted people on the occasion. He said, under present circumstances, we have to be content with a modest celebration and strictly adhere to the safety protocols of wearing masks, practicing physical distancing and maintaining personal hygiene. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his wishes on the occasion of Eid, saying, "May this day inspire us to create a just, harmonious and inclusive society." Across the world, Eid al-Zuha is being celebrated in a subdued manner, with mosques following social distancing norms and devotees offering prayers from home. Mosque authorities at various places checked body temperature of devotees and provided them with hand sanitizers. Several mosques, including the Fatehpuri Masjid in Delhi, held prayers. Devotees also offered namaz at Delhi's Jama Masjid on Eid al-Zuha.
And with this, it's a wrap on this edition of News Tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.